Look at me. Oh, don't I look like a right mess? What a day. It's been crazy. Welcome, everybody. I look like a right mess. It's been quite a hectic day, I would say. A very hectic day. And we are going to put on some lippy. Got that going on. Okay, so we got the lipstick going on. See who comes on in to the cray of the energies. And we're going to talk a little bit about the energies, talk about what's going on, what I'm up to. Ooh, maybe put some perfume on. Not that you can smell it, but I'm going to put it on. There we go. Maybe it'll help me to look a little bit better. Temple's that right back there. Right back there. There we go. Oh, so funny. So, that smells really nice. It's called, this is really nice. It's called Clean. And it's a reserve blend. It's a reserve blend. I got that at Christmas time. So, there we go. That's what I did. So, how's everybody doing? What's going on? What's new? What's exciting? Let's get in on some 411 and some craziness. I'm going to go on Instagram and see what happens with Instagram. Let's see what goes on. I have a video that's going to be coming out about my little adventures today and the things that have been happening today. And so I'll be posting that out in just a short time. I'm going to edit it up and everything else. I wanted to touch base today about the astrology and how the astrology and the energies are coinciding with my $5 experience. Yeah. So if you don't know, now you're going to know, is that grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your water. We're going to talk a little bit about astrology first, because that's always where I like to begin. The skies give us the bigger picture. And then before we finish today, I want to share something new that I'm doing. And it's called the $5 experience. It's on my Patreon. And because I realized this little experiment is actually teaching me the astrology in real life. So let's jump in. We made it through a very emotional transit. We've had the sun squaring Neptune, and it's been kind of crazy. And you probably felt it, like you've been questioning yourself, questioning your direction, wondering what's fits and what doesn't anymore, and you weren't imagining it. And Neptune has a funny way of showing us where we've been wearing the mask, right? And not necessarily lying to anyone else, but maybe not being completely honest with ourselves. So today's a little bit lighter, and it comes in with this little bit of lightness for us and bringing that energy in for us. And I feel like it's very important for us to understand that, as we are going through these energies are getting us to really look at life in new ways. And as we are looking at our life in new ways, it's allowing us to step forward through new doors. And I know for myself, it's like, really, the $5 experiment is something that I've been for me, I had to sort of sit on it. Is this really what I want to do? Patreon's been at the back of my mind. Should I go back on Patreon? And I just got, okay, let's do this. Let's do this $5 experiment. And you can go to my Patreon page. It's the patreon.com/thegurumama. And, take a look. It's stepping into, and I'll be posting up, videos up there shortly on what I do. Little things like, no, I I've been putting $5 aside, um, putting a little bit of money, it's nothing extravagant. And I know everybody wants to do the big leap and say, "Oh, but I just want this all now. I just want it all in my savings." And also looking at, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to film this, is there's paperwork that sometimes, because I'm 62, to fill out, and things that you need to look at 62. If you have no other if you don't have any other income, if you're um, needing to having some extra support. Now, I do have the guru mama, and I do some readings here and there, but it's not on a continual basis. If my business, if the guru mama was a show stop, nonstop kind of energy and continually like, okay, here you go, uh, it would be a different scenario that I'd be looking at. And one of the things that I did hear from a lot of people that they were saying is that I'm going to work till I die. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." That's my mantra too. That's the way I was thinking. I'm like, "But do we really have to?" Like there has to be an easier way. And in our society, it looks at you know and tells you that there isn't. And I think that's the door that we keep coming up to, that's stopping people from moving forward and going into a new direction, because they don't want to maybe look at another door, or maybe look at the things that of why you're feeling stuck and overwhelmed and wondering what's next. And I hope the conversation today, that sometimes the bigger transformation begins with very small decisions that you make. And I would love to hear from all of you on what is the small investments that you're making in yourself, and what you're making in yourself this week. I feel it's very important for us to really look at what are the things that we are doing for ourselves in our lives, right? And especially with the Sag Moon is bringing back hope back. There's a deeper message. I mean, I got the Two of Pentacles reversed and the Star reversed today. So there's a lot of information that, coming through on really looking at what is happening in our lives at this time, and what we need to really start looking at. And many of us out there might be very prosperous in different ways. You might be prosperous. It may not be money wise, but um, maybe you have land. Maybe you're able to grow food, and you're prosperous with food, so which is fabulous. So you have that you able to have a backstock, like you're really good at prepping, and you got that preppiness there. Maybe it's where maybe you have put money aside, but you just kind of forgot about it. Like you have a stash somewhere. That's awesome too. So these are things that you have to, check off and say, "Hey, look at what I do have." And this is another way, when I say retirement, of um when the job's no longer there and things are, what are you going to be relying on? That's where I'm coming into, right? And I know with the Two of Pentacles reversed, it's like, what are you still trying to juggle that you don't actually need to juggle anymore? And the Star reversed is like, why are you doubting the very path that your soul has been trying to lead you towards? Like, this is like, there may be things that you don't have to struggle at. So let's say you do, hypothetically, let's say you do have food stock and you're pretty stocked up. So on average, what would that have costed? What would that have cost you, right? So maybe it's through that, or through that you are able to put aside and do some sort of investment, do some sort of things. And I believe people should start doing their due diligence, not just say, "No, I don't want this," or "No, this is bad. This is only rich people thing to do." That's my mantra too. And this energy that's coming in is getting us to really look at things in new ways. in a freshness, in fresh ideas. And when we are starting to look at things in a fresh idea or fresh ways, then that's going to open us up to understanding more about the world around us, more understanding of how can I set myself up for success, right? And I've done some crazy things, and I'm going to be talking about that on Patreon. I've done some real crazy things that people are saying, "What the fuck did you do that for? That was pretty stupid." I'm going to like, yeah, it was pretty stupid, and it is pretty stupid. But sometimes we do things because of necessity or fear, or we're feeling that lack, and we just have to, we have to do this, whatever it is, right? So this is all part of, the energies that are coming in. And part of it is also we overthink. We worry about everybody else's opinion. We tell ourselves all the reasons something won't work because before we've even tried it. And today's energy is saying, get out of your own way. Get out of your way. This is get out, this is like to bring me something I wanted to start sharing with you all. This is what it is. It's like some of you know that I've talked about money a lot in my life, right? I've talked about it and talked about the lack and talked about this. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm still an astrologer. I'm still a tarot reader. I'm still a psychic. I'm still me, but I'm realizing something, that the astrology doesn't just show me our relationships or our spirituality. It shows up in our money too. And I've spent years helping people believe in themselves. Yet when it came to investing, I realized I had this story running in my head. I don't have enough. I started too late. I need more money first. And does that sound familiar to you? And it's not with tens of thousands of dollars. It's not with $100. It's just with $5. $5. And I'm calling it the $5 experiment. I mean, I've already started it. I've already started doing these, okay, well, oh, all right, I got this. Oh, okay. Oh, I got a reading. Okay, I can put $5 aside from that. It's not like I'm putting half of it aside. I think I would panic. I would panic if someone sent me, let's say, $60, and I'm like, "Ooh, I got to put $30 aside." Oh, honestly, I'd probably start panicking. Sounds crazy, but I probably would. But I could do 5. And some days it might be $5. Maybe as my confidence grows, maybe it would be $20. Maybe it will be $100. Who knows? But what I'm documenting isn't the amount. I'm documenting the person I'm becoming. And honestly, it isn't exactly what today's astrology is asking us, to do. The universe is opening the door for us to step through. But are we willing to walk through, or are we still standing there juggling our old stories? I'm tired of juggling my old stories. I'm done with it. And so every week I'm going to share where I'm at, the wins, the mistakes, and the things I'm learning, and the moments where fear shows up. And hopefully, watching me, you'll realize you don't have to wait until everything is perfect before you begin. And because that's really what today's all about, taking one small step, trusting yourself, being willing to see the possibilities and instead of the limitations. And so today, I want to leave you with this question. Where are you getting in your own way? Not where someone else is. Are you making life harder than it needs to be? Because I have a feeling that this Sag moon is reminding all of us that life is a whole lot bigger than the little box we've been living inside. And if this resonates with you, comment below and tell me, what's one small thing you're willing to invest in today that your future self will thank you for? Okay? Let me know about that. Comment below. And if you're feeling willing and you want to follow me on my Patreon, definitely go over to my Patreon and let's get started on this journey, because I think it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Let's see how it goes. Have a blessed one. Bye-bye.